Hi guys, and welcome to What's Cooking at the Martin. This week we're going to do an old favorite of mine. It is the lasagna that I make at least once or twice a year for cast parties. It was easy to do, something you can throw in the oven and leave there. And along with that though, we are going to try to make some focaccia bread. I found a recipe for it. Shockingly easy focaccia bread. We'll see how shocked we are. Anyway, the different thing about the lasagna that I do is that I do it in 3 layers. I do 2 red layers and a white layer. And so we'll get into that when we start putting the lasagna together. The first step in doing this focaccia bread is that we want to take the yeast. We're going to take 2½ cups of lukewarm water. And we're going to put it in the bowl. We've got our active yeast. We have checked the date, and the date should be good. So we're going to put the active dry yeast in here, and we're also going to add 2 teaspoons of honey, and then we're going to whisk that together. So here we go. We're going to leave it. So now we're going to leave it for about 5 minutes, and we're going to come back and revisit it with the flour. It's been 5 minutes, and it's kind of interesting because we've got bubbles and creaminess. So I'm guessing the yeasts did their little thing. Cool. I love it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add 5 cups of flour to this. I don't think we're going to add it all at once because I think that would be kind of detrimental, but we're going to do this. And we're going to try to incorporate all of this, and we're going to do this until we've gotten all 5 cups of flour in here. Also, during this, while we're trying to incorporate all of this flour, we're going to add 1 tablespoon. I'm sorry, that I'm sure it sounded loud to you. We've got 1 tablespoon of Morton's kosher salt. So we're going to add that to it as well, because I think the salt has something to do with the chemical reaction that makes it all rise, or whatever. You know, I'm an arts person. Hopefully, we will have a really kind of loose dough when that all happens, and it'll be ready for us to put it in the refrigerator and let it think about itself overnight. Okay, so here we have our dough. And so one of the things, what we're going to do at this point, I think I've incorporated everything. Now at this point what we're going to do is we're going to take our 4 tablespoons of, we have 4 tablespoons of olive oil. I have a really nice Italian blend, and then we're going to take it and we're going to pour it over that. And we're going to make sure that it coats it. Coats it here. We're going to turn it. So the whole thing's going to be coated with olive oil. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay. Of course, I have no idea if I've done it right or wrong, so we will see. We will see about this together. But I'm hoping this is going to be really lovely. At this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this dough that's nicely covered and nicely coated at this point. I'm going to cover it with plastic wrap, and I'm going to put it in the refrigerator, and I'm going to leave it there overnight, and it's going to rise, which is going to be really neat. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. I will see you when we get there. To start the red sauce, we're going to take about a pound of hamburger, 3 links of sweet Italian sausage. I have a sweet onion, Vidalia onion, and about 3 cloves of garlic. And we're going to put all of that together in a pan, and we're going to fry it. And that's going to be the meat. Okay, so now we've cooked it down, and we've cooked the meat down. We've drained that. We added our onions and our garlic, and the onions are like translucent at this point. What we're going to do now is we're going to add, this is one of those large cans of San Marzano tomatoes. Okay, so I'm going to add that to it. I did take my immersion blender to it a little bit because because they're whole tomatoes, and I wanted it to be like chunks. So I added that. Oop, there's a whole one. Got it. Oh, that's looking good, looking good. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add just a plain jar of traditional pasta sauce. It's any kind you like. Let's get all of it. So there you go. And then we're going to do this and see if this is enough. I think this is going to be enough. Excellent. So this looks great. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it and put this back on the stove, and we're going to let it cook for a while. I have, if you, depending on how much meat you use, you might want to add more, but we're only making one lasagna. So we're just going to, ooh, that looks good. And it smells good. Okay, now we're going to go on to the white layer. We're going to start out with about 12 ounces. That's 8, and we're going to of cottage cheese. Mainly because my family likes cottage cheese better than ricotta. As my husband does. So, we've got our cottage cheese ready. I went out into my garden and I got some basil. I'd say it's about 2 maybe tablespoons, and I chiffonaded it. I'm going to put that in there. And next I'm going to take 2 eggs. And yes, I know you're not supposed to do it this way. You're supposed to open it in something else, but okay, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to mix that all up, and then we're going to put that, well, with my surprise ingredient in the middle. So we've got the red layer is going, the white layer is getting ready to be done, and we'll start assembling real soon. So here you can see, this is after it sat overnight in the refrigerator, and it's doubled in size, and it looks really, really yummy. They have a technique to punch this down. So what it tells you to do is that we're going to go in, and we're going to take 2 forks, and we're going to go in and we're going to pull this over itself. And then we're going to move it around here a little bit more, and we're going to take this and pull this over itself. And we're going to come down here, we'll take this, and just basically do this all the way around. You can see what it's doing. It's deflating the dough, which is, I guess, the part where you punch it down or whatever in a regular recipe. Okay, so we've got that. You just go around once is what they say. So we have here a very well buttered pan. We're going to put about a tablespoon of EVOO in the middle of it. And then we're going to turn our bread out onto here, like so, making sure we've got all the oils and stuff on it. So we're going to do that and put it in the middle of the thing. We've got plenty of oil on it. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to put it in a dry, warm spot and let it just proof again. And by that point, it should be ready to go in the oven. My understanding is it's going to flatten itself out, and it's going to fill the focaccia. The focaccia is going to fill the 11 by 13 inch pan. And hey, we'll see. It's an experiment. So now we get to the fun part. This is where we get to layer everything. So we're going to start. This is our red sauce, and we're going to start with the red sauce, and we're going to put that over the bottom of the pan. Then we have our noodles right here. See them? And I think that I'm going to try doing 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. I think I can get one in right there. I've got that covered. So now the first layer is all going to be all red. So feel free to take half of your stuff. Make sure you save some for the last layer though. That's good. And then of course you take cheese. And this is several different kinds of Italian cheeses that I've mixed together. And I'm going to put a layer of that down here. So now we go on with more noodles. I remember how I did it before, so I can do it the opposite way here. I should move over so that some lumps over there. And these are just regular noodles, guys. I know I've been told that it doesn't work, but I've used them both, and they seem the lasagnas, the oven ready and the regular one, seem to come out the same no matter what. So, okay, so this layer is going to be our white layer. And you'll remember we did the cottage cheese, the basil, the eggs. We're going to lay that down on there. You can use ricotta. Like I said, my family prefers cottage cheese. And spread it out nice, like so. And then for that added cheesiness, I just add a thing of Alfredo sauce on top of it. So that is your, this is a basil garlic Alfredo, but it goes on top of it. Then we're going to, we don't need to top that with cheese. that's enough cheese. So then we're going to put our noodles back in. Okay, so then we've got that. So now we're going to do another layer of red. So there you have it. There's the last layer right there. We're going to take it and put some cheese on it. I guess you guys are getting that we like cheese in the house. It's like I'm going to have to go grate some more cheese. So anyway, finish that off. And then we're going to do one more layer of noodles. I wonder if we can do them this way this time. Let's do it this way. So I've grated some more cheese, and with the last layer we're going to just do marinara sauce. Just plain marinara. I guess you want to have plenty of moisture in here because that's what cooks the noodles. We're going to top it with this. And then, of course, we will finish it with cheese. We're going to put this in a 350-degree oven, and we're going to let it bake for about an hour, hour and a half. Well, lunch is at noon, so everybody will be here by then, so we're going to do that. We've got the focaccia that we yet to make, so we're going to get going on that. I didn't divide that very well, did I? Oh well, it'll all melt into itself. Anyway, there we have it. That is my cast party lasagna, and as you can see, it'll feed a crew. That's what we're doing today. So this is how the bread looks. When I brought it out of the thing, it's been doubling in size for probably about 2.5 hours. So we're going to play with it some because we're going to make it fit the pan. I have some rosemary infused, I'm trying to get it right, some rosemary infused olive oil here, and I'm going to use that on the top of it. And I do have to thank Pam Sutton for this because she gave it to me on Christmas. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit, first of all we're going to put some on our hands because we're going to stretch some of this stuff. Okay, so what we're going to do is try to make it fit the pan right now. Just kind of stretch it out. Here we go. I think that's good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to dimple it. We're going to go in with our hands and we're going to do that, and it's going to be, and we need to dimple it deep. He said to like even go in and feel like you were actually going in and hitting the bottom of the pan. This is done. Our next step is to cook it. So after we've dimpled it, we're going to add some sea salt, like a teaspoon or so. I'm using pink Himalayan salt, but there we go. Nice, nice, nice. And just for the heck of it, we're going to drizzle it with a little bit of this rosemary oil. Yeah, perfect. So that's perfect. I'm gonna bake this in a 450-degree oven for about 20 or 30 minutes, and we'll be back when it comes out. It's gonna be good. Okay, well they're all here and they're all hungry. So I'm going to show you what we do with the focaccia before we serve it. Okay, so what we have here is we have some melted butter, and there's a little bit of garlic in it, so it's kind of like garlic butter. And we're going to take this off this beautiful focaccia, and we're going to take it, and we're going to actually just put it over the top. Oh, I can't wait to eat it. It's going to be lovely.
Stewart's been flying much.
And you can tell there are pilots in the room. You can hear them talking. Not yet. Hang on. Okay, so anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this, now that it's got all this wonderful butter on it, we're going to give it a second, and we're going to cut it into squares, and we're going to get everything ready, and we're going to serve it up. So I'll be back. So here we have it. This is out of the oven. We've taken one out to let it kind of cool because Ron is going to come and taste it for us. Okay, drum roll please. Of course, you know, this is one of Ron's favorite meals in the whole world. He tells me so anyway.
Not that it's one of my favorite meals. It is my favorite meal.
Oh, Ron, thank you.
This is the lasagna queen.
This is Cast Party lasagna is what it is. He ate it a lot. So, is it okay?
It is delicious.
Well, thank you. Taste the focaccia bread. I'm really anxious to see what you think of that. It's just like bread.
Except it's focaccia.
Commercial here,
Butter on it.
More butter. Okay.
No, it's got butter on it.
It does have butter on it. Anyway.
Barb, that is delicious.
So we're going to now go sit and eat. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed it. Enjoy your own lasagna. We'll talk to you next week.